that's really pretty. I'm coming, sorry.
Found it!
Eureka!
Yay!
Taking the side streets. I like Tony. I liked Bernardo better.
Oof. Oh, hi there. This is the story. Scratch that. Last weekend, my mom and I went on a little bit of a staycation field trip through Los Angeles, Hollywood specifically, and it was very fun. It's very nice to be a tourist in your own state sometimes. More specifically, my mom and I had tickets to see John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl, which we have made a tradition out of. I first saw this concert when I was 15, exactly 10 years ago, so it was nice to celebrate the 10th anniversary of me discovering my favorite place in the whole entire world, going and seeing the same concert. John Williams is 90 years old, and let me tell you, he had so much energy and amazingness as only John Williams can. So we started off at the Getty because we figured, why not? We haven't been to the Getty in a very long time. We went to the Getty Center, not the Getty Villa. There's a bug on me. That's... Can you stop? Oh, jeez. So we ended up getting off the 101 to take some side streets up to the Getty because why not? It's gorgeous and I love that part of town. Studio City and just that whole area, you can just feel the history of Hollywood and the history of filmmaking and music, and it's very, very fun. We parked, did the whole thing. There is a tram that will take you all the way up to the Getty Center from the parking lot, but my mom and I opted to walk because it was a nice day. Actually, it wasn't. It was 107 degrees in Los Angeles. We decided to do it anyway. We walked all the way up. They said it would be about a 20-minute walk, but it only took my mom and I about 10 minutes. So I think if you don't mind walking, it's a really nice way to get up to the Getty Center. You get some really nice views of the city, which once you get up to the Getty Center, there are a lot of really gorgeous views, which we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
It was not a bad walk at all, except for the fact that it was 107 degrees. By the time we got up to the hill, we were so tired we took an elevator to get up the teeny tiny staircase that went to the main floor of the Getty Center. We ended up wandering through the Getty for about 2 hours. The nice thing about the Getty is that every time you leave an art gallery, you are surrounded by more art that is the city of Los Angeles. The Getty has gorgeous views, and yes, even views of the traffic on the 405. The Getty actually had quite a bit of things that really fascinated me. It was really interesting to see this photo of Count Basie from this photographer's perspective.
There were many other things that fascinated me, like this photo of a family gathering around a phonograph for the first time. There was this photo of a performance of John Cage's Water music, all kinds of old sketches and drawings and artwork. There was this grand, large photo that was depicting the second coming of Christ in a modern way. There was this beautiful furniture, just all kinds of things that you can imagine. Oh, and this side table? Oh my goodness, wouldn't you just love to have that in your living room? These candle stands would also fit well in my living room, just saying.
And then there was my favorite, the musicians' brawl. Once we finished at the Getty, we ended up getting some coffees from the coffee cart before driving up to our hotel, hence the staycation.
Smile.
Am I smiling too big?
No, it was just a video, so.
Oh.
Our hotel was on Riverside Drive in Sherman Oaks, Van Nuys. It's Studio City. I forget where the borderline is, one of those. It was right next to the 101, which was super convenient. So once we went to the pretty standard hotel room, we made our trek to the Hollywood Bowl. We're on our way. Mom, anything to add?
No.
We're going to the Hollywood Bowl. We have the rest of our coffee, and it's a gorgeous,
Typical.
a typical ugly California building right there. We're taking
sunset.
Yes, we're taking the side streets. John Williams, here we come. For the third time?
Yes, for
Third
the
time.
Exactly. We went 10 years ago.
We did go
2012.
Oh, it's the 10-year anniversary.
Our first time at the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes. It should be more park. Are you proud of me for knowing the side streets?
Very proud of you.
Thank you. We had a lovely day at the Getty, and now we're going to the Hollywood Bowl, my official favorite place in the world. Okay.
These people.
Stay in your lane.
Gosh, I haven't been down here in forever. I guess I could have gone that way.
I am now using my lens to figure out the construction they're doing by Universal. Oh no! I'm stupid. That's where Nintendo World. We have arrived.
We're here!
Yay!
I need a lightsaber.
Yeah, we did forget those. Actually, I just don't like carrying them.
I think we have like original lightsabers.
Yeah, I think we still have. Do we still have like the Darth Vader, the
they're all
tiny
in-
one?
Oh, somewhere. It's
Somewhere.
In we have
Somewhere.
a lightsaber remote control.
I remember that one. I remember that one.
And Darth Vader that you put a coin in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The little Darth Vader that moves around with the thing and the Okay.
Memories.
Yes. I am going to leave the camera here. You should listen to music at concerts and not worry about anything else. We will see you on the other side. That night in particular was a sold-out concert, so we ended up parking across the street in lots. Well, we parked in lot D. There is lot C and D that are not pre-reserved. What I love about lot D is that it is in the same parking lot as the Hollywood Heritage Museum, which I will talk about in a second. I've always wanted to go there, and we finally went. More on that soon. Before we got to our seats, we had to pick up our picnic basket, which I've never done before, and you go and pick it up at the marketplace that's outside. So if you do happen to order a picnic basket, make sure you pick it up outside before going through security, getting to your seats, and all of that. I am not quite sure if this picnic basket was the best option for us. Usually we just bring some charcuterie items, and that always seems to work for us. Don't forget your bottle of wine, because that is very important. We ended up deciding on this Gruner Veltliner, mostly because it was from Austria, and I personally have never tried an official Austrian Gruner Veltliner. Delicious, all the acidity that I love in a white wine. David Newman conducted the first half, John Williams conducted the second half. David Newman comes on stage and starts telling the story about John Williams' first job in Hollywood, which happened to be as a studio pianist for Carousel. That was a bit of information that I did not know about John Williams. I actually probably should watch Carousel. If you know me, you know that I'm not the biggest Rodgers and Hammerstein fan. Sorry, not sorry. John Williams comes out for the second half. My favorite part of the concert was this one sentence.
I'm gonna have to live to be 100.
We're at the Hollywood Bowl, as you can see back there. What do we think of the concert?
Oh, classic.
I cried the whole time.
E.T. is always one of my
Shamelessly.
favorites.
Mine too. I think Fiddler on the Roof, though, was my favorite.
And then there's nothing like hearing Star Wars because
Yeah.
that
all
was the
lightsabers.
iconic. I remember being there at Grauman's Chinese and listening to that music and falling in love with it.
Yeah, because you were at the premiere, right?
Well, no, it wasn't. I don't think it was the premiere, but we waited in line for 2 hours. It may have been out. I don't know.
Huh.
So that will
Yeah.
just always be a favorite of mine.
I'm just making sure it's still recording because we're on Instagram because my audio sucks on my phone. So, yeah, we're going to head back to the hotel, enjoy the rest of our bottle of wine that we got, and yeah, there's your Hollywood Bowl Getty adventure of the day. See you next time. On our way out, we bid a fond farewell to Euterpe, the Muse of Music, who sits guarding the front of the Hollywood Bowl. Butterfly! The Hollywood Bowl has an amazing, extensive history. There's an entire book on it that was just released for the 100th anniversary this year. If you didn't know, I think it's very interesting that this is the Hollywood Bowl's 100th year, and this is John Williams' 90th year of being on Earth, essentially. Oh, what else should I tell you about? Dragonfly! So we made the trek back to the hotel. We were both so full from eating and drinking all the amazing things at the bowl. Our souls were filled with the music of John Williams as well. There's nothing as soul-fulfilling as watching John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl. It's just something you have to do. We went back to the hotel and called it a night. We got up the next day and we ventured back to the Hollywood Bowl. Here's why.
That music really.
You know that Lot D that I was talking to you about with the Hollywood Heritage Museum? We went back there because I've always wanted to see that museum. Unfortunately, most of the museum part had been converted into a theater because they were having a film festival. The man working there was super helpful. My mom started telling him about my great-great-grandfather, who was mayor of Culver City and worked a lot in the studios at the time. And the guy went to this book on Thomas Ince of Ince Studios, and he opened the book, found his name in the table of contents, and went back and showed us all of the places that my great-great-grandfather was mentioned in the history of Thomas Ince. That was really, really cool. Because the museum was closed, we still got to see a lot of things. They still let us in. I looked at the schedule of happenings at the film festival, and Mitzi Gaynor had given a Q&A 2 days earlier. The Hollywood Heritage Museum is located in what used to be the DeMille barn. The museum is filled with all kinds of old Hollywood memorabilia. A lot of old makeup kits, a lot of old photographs from the time. The barn was considered the first studio in Hollywood, which is pretty amazing. This is before anything in Hollywood really was built up. They had a lot of old costumes. Right in the front entrance door, if you look to the right, you will find Cecil B. DeMille's old office, which is filled with all kinds of things. The first check that was made out for the 10 Commandments. It was just really cool to see all of these old things. I love Hollywood history. It's just so rich, and it's the history of entertainment in the entire world. I'm definitely going back there someday. I definitely want to explore the museum and talk to some of the volunteers there more in depth about the history of this place and the history of Cecil B. DeMille and his contributions to the motion picture industry. officially the search for Cecil B. DeMille's old apartment complex. Or owned building? I don't know.
Yeah, we should get the address and research it.
My mom remembered growing up, she had visited one of the apartment complexes that Cecil B. DeMille had built. We looked everywhere, we found this place, and we could have sworn it was it. My mom was like, I kind of remember this looks familiar. But we kept driving anyway until found it!
Eureka!
Yay! Here it is. Little did we know that this condominium complex essentially had been named El Cabrillo. Now, El Cabrillo also has its own film history. There were a couple of things that were filmed here. It is mainly known as being one of the historic buildings that Cecil B. DeMille built. Then we got in the car and it was about time to call it a day. We had had our fun, but before we left, we wandered through the streets of Hollywood. You've enjoyed my talk through of a nice, relaxing couple of days that you can spend wandering around Hollywood. If you should so be interested, I will see you guys during the next adventure. This is so bad. Can't get it. Aha!
Oh, the letters. Yeah. Okay, well that's fun to know. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, wait. There we go. 1, 2.